Welcome to Titusville. Really neat little town, rich in oil history. Of course, the first commercial oil well was drilled here just south of town along Oil Creek in 1859. Hopefully we'll have time to see that here. We're just gonna roll right into town, get unloaded, and there's a speeder run this evening. So come along for some fun. I hope you enjoy it. Of course, we're crossing the tracks right now for the Oil Creek in Titusville. We'll be coming through here in about half an hour or so. Well folks, the Saturday morning run is done. Total about 27 miles, and it rained the entire time. So I was joined here by Pappy, goes by Trigoglin on YouTube, and he'll have a good video of the trip out. And I'll tell you what, if you'd like to, you want to tell the folks about your channel, maybe where to go find you.
I'm at Trigoglin, Trigogglin. Find nothing but trains and modeling and good times, meet and greets. It's all fun. Had a great time with Matt today.
All right, well, we do thank him for coming out and putting up with all the rain, and we also went out and did a little tree trimming for the track work up today, which makes us run free here on the Oil Creek in Titusville. So check out the video on his channel. I'll put the link in the description below. Thanks so much.
Great time, Matt. Thank you.
Thanks for coming. Well, welcome aboard at the Oil Creek in Titusville. We got our first bridge of 3 significant bridges just around this corner. And we'll show you what that looks like. We're just on our way outside of town. Got the ball fields on the left there. Come along for the ride. Friday night I had a guest with me and didn't have a whole lot of time to do camera work, and same with Saturday morning's run. Plus it decided to rain non-stop, and I'm just finally starting to dry out, and of course keeping rain off the camera lens was about impossible. Got a Trigoglin there in the distance. Check out his channel, he does good videos. Coming up to Drake Well Museum. At this site, the first commercial oil well was drilled back in 1859. I believe they only drilled 69.5 feet deep. That well was drilled by Colonel William Drake, and he invented a lot of neat technology that made that possible. So back behind this station, there is a museum and an old operational oil field from the early 1900s. With a hit-and-miss type engine running multiple pumps. Very neat display and well worth checking out. Got some pedestrians to watch out for. And it looks like one of our brethren's at that museum now. Back behind that grove of pine trees, there's a little building back in there, which is the original site of that well, dug in 1869. Dug using steam engine power. And at some point, the building over top of it was recreated And a replica steam engine and boiler, which I believe is operational, was built to take the place of the equipment that was used to drill the well. At this point, we're entering the state park, and it is a very beautiful state park, very scenic. Titusville and this area really was the birth of companies like Pennzoil, Sunoco, Quaker State and Lube, or I'm thinking of the restaurant, Quaker State Oil. All of that was founded and started here. So the amount of history in the area is neat. Towns in this area quite literally sprung up overnight. Areas where nothing exists, well, as soon as somebody hit oil, a successful well, cities such as Pit Hole City, which is a few miles east of here, within the course of a year, they went from nothing to 10,000 residents. So the oil boom really was a thing here. out, maybe coming back. Just when I was starting to dry out, temperature dropped about 10 degrees from this morning too. If it's 60 degrees out, I'd be surprised. And I'm wet and in the wind, so yeah, it's a little cold. It's worth it though. Tracks, eagles flying above, porcupines, raccoons, plenty of deer, of course chipmunks and squirrels, a lot of wildlife. And Oil Creek here must be pretty good fishing because I see a lot of fly fishermen in it quite often. gullies off to the right, there's an old boiler sitting in them with a stone foundation. More than likely it powered some oil wells or helped to drill them. I'm going to try to find it and point it out. It can't be hard to find. I think it's either right before this curve or in the middle of the curve. It's covered in moss, but it blends in. I think it's right up here. Yeah, here it is. Look at that guy right there. It's also a really pretty ravine too. Anyhow, well, I've got the chainsaw with us. Time to look for any trees that are too far in the right of way to cut up. Anyway, don't run. Ain't got no gas in it. In my defense, it's not my saw. I was just handed it to use. There they go, on to the next brush pile to cut up. Found some date nails on these ties though, look at this. 59. There's no way that tie is that old, but at least I wouldn't think there'd be. But there's a lot of dates nails in here in some of these, and they're all 1959, I presume. Anywho, I better get moving and catch up to them. Stop for a moment to take a look at this gully here. It's a nice little water feature in there. Nice spot. What the odds are that you can see over that. Welcome back. I wanted to show you the town of Titusville real quick. There's a lot more to these speeder trips than just going out and running the car and enjoying that part of the hobby. I mean, I enjoy just as much exploring what the local towns are, what the local culture is, meeting some the people from the area, what are the things to do. On that topic, what's cool about this town is that even it's not a large city by any means. I don't know what the population is, but they have a good amount of attainment. They still have a bowling alley, they have a roller skating rink, there's a fantastic tap house, of course the Oil Creek and Titusville Railroad. The downtown, which we're kind of going through a little bit here on the north side, is in very nice shape. Then of course it's just north of Oil Creek State Park. See the buildings on that side, nice paint. I love the awnings on that. That's actually kind of rare to see in this day and age, I feel. But anyhow, go for a lap around here and see what the area is like. But I'll tell you what though, the people I've met in this town are very nice, very welcoming, talk to anyone type of folks. And you know, anytime I come back here, it really does feel like a vacation. So I just enjoy the heck out of it every time. And we gotta hit every red light through here. But anyhow, here's the town square. Courthouse, and out of sight I believe is their post office. Post office is a pretty neat building. A lot of times they are with their age. Again, we have the town square here. Nice gazebo in the center, very nicely done. And if I were to continue straight here, that would kind of lead to more of the modern commercial area. There's a Walmart out that way. I think there's a hardware store, things of that nature. So we're going to turn left and head back towards the depot for the Oil Creek and Titusville Railroad. If you enjoyed the scenery on the speeder ride, you know, come out and ride their train. It runs I believe every weekend from Memorial Day through Labor Day. Adult tickets, or tickets for adults, are $20 a person, which in this day and age I feel like that's pretty cheap, and they can honestly charge more than that. If you're a rail fan, they always use, or all of their power is Alcos. So they have some neat Alco S2s that they normally run that are, to be honest, I can't say what year they're from. And an Alco MLW, I believe, was made in Canada. So we'll pull into the depot area here. Technically, this is going the wrong way, but they have the Caboose Motel here, which is a fantastic place to stay. And they're pretty nice and cozy inside. And off to the right, we have one of the industries here, and I believe there are two companies that make different forms of plastic pipe, or high-density polyurethane, or whatever chemical, but anyhow, HDPE pipe. And there are two manufacturers from that. You can see all those freight cars on the right. The Oil Creek and Titusville, which there are their passenger cars here, does not haul just passenger. They haul a lot of freight, and by the sounds of it, they're moving a train a day up from the where they interchange with the Western New York and Pennsylvania, and bring up here into the industries. So anyhow, this is the area here. There's the original depot for the OC&T. It's actually pretty cool inside. We got a lot of history in there, small museum. On this side here, kind of an open floor plan, good for tables or a small event. Anyhow, that's a quick lap around the downtown area of Titusville.